Commissioners meeting. It's July 21st, 10 a.m. Roll call, please.
Jim Marlowe.
Present.
Brent Gentry. Tim Atkinson.
First item on the under new business. We don't have any old business, do we?
I know when I got this, what were you planning on doing with this, I passed that last thing, recovery funds, that Benning and Code submitted. We have a meeting, called this, whatever. We're supposed to get all this, and then we're gonna call and see who qualifies, who doesn't qualify, and call somebody. I don't know who we're
Yeah,
gonna
I
call.
think, let's set the meeting and we'll get that. What was her name?
I think it's like,
I
Yeah.
got it. I don't remember her name.
And she was a CPA from Virginia.
Right. She offered to help anybody in the state.
Right. I'll set the meeting with her.
well, what is her title? What's she's got something to do with federal government? or-
Yeah, she's with the federal government.
She was with one of the, what are those programs?
She was the CPA that basically was in charge, I think, of this program. So she gave the presentation at that meeting, and so I'll get in touch with her and I'll set up a meeting where she can come in and talk about this. And on the, Kelly brought up the issue of, I think there was some equipment that was stolen. The value of it fell under our deductible. That will be paid for out of our insurance, one of our insurance funds. I got it written down, but we'll go ahead and make the claim out. I think I forwarded it to you, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get that claim going.
there's already a claim in there for it.
Okay, we'll get that taken care of.
Okay.
So,
How much was it on that one?
It was,
10,000?
it was,
When that
three,
No.
4,000, somewhere in there.
yeah, it wasn't,
And then there's also the issue of First Baptist Church is resurfacing their parking lot. So that's a $4,000 expense right there that we pay for. We do it every now and then. I don't know how many years you wait in between, but because we park out there, we pay for it. Now, I don't know if 4,000 is a total or what, but I called
Yeah,
Mike Malone and I told him to send us an invoice. And then once we get an invoice, then we can go ahead and start the claim.
It's been at least 3 years.
So,
Mhm.
but other than that, do you have any other?
No, I don't have any issues, no.
Under new business, we have the White Ash Sewer credit for Christy Sanders. Kyle Vile emailed me. She had a pool installed. This is a one-time pool fill for her. Kyle does keep track of this. It's just a one-time offer for any resident. If they drain it and refill it next year, they don't get the credit. But she used over 12,730 gallons. Her credit should be $93.57. So I just need a motion to approve that.
I make a motion to approve this credit.
Second.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Tim Atkinson.
Okay. Under the highway department. Where'd he go? There he is. Yeah.
Can't hardly see in that blue shirt.
Okay, so on the agenda, Roundabout Skyline Crenshaw. Let's see, this is a resolution for $350,000, and that is to cover engineering and other associated costs with the design of the roundabout there north of the Skyline.
You didn't approve, okay, so I make a motion to approve the resolution of improvement under Illinois Highway Code 21-07-21-54.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Tim Atkinson.
The second one is resolution for County Highway 25, just east of Illinois 148, on the prison road there, Grassy Road. We're replacing the superstructure on that bridge, and it's for $125,000. That's going to cover engineering and the matching funds associated with that bridge.
Okay, make a motion to accept resolution for improvement under Illinois Highway Code 21-07-21-55.
Second.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Brent Gentry.
Yeah.
Tim Atkinson.
That's all I got.
Is that it? All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Talk to you later.
Okay, under resolutions, we have the real estate tax payment dates and penalty dates. Actually,
Go to the action.
go to the exit, we're on camera.
Oh, all right. Tax bills are printed, they are ready to go, they're gonna be mailed out on Friday. Our due dates are set for August 26th and October 14th. I think you have a resolution in front of you to approve those dates. And then also, if you remember last year, because of state legislation, you actually can be deferred the penalties. That's no longer in effect, so everything goes back to normal. So again, the due dates are the due dates. First installments, are collected through the first installment due date, second installment collected at the second installment.
And those dates again will be,
August 26th and October 14th.
okay?
And the bills are gonna be mailed out,
They're being mailed
on
out
Friday,
Friday, July 25th.
July 25th.
They are stamped and ready to go in my office. Be dropped off first thing Friday morning.
All right.
All right, good.
Based on the recommendation from the treasurer, I'll go do August 26th and 10/14 of the due dates for real estate taxes.
That's resolution number 21-07-21-5.
You made a motion, I'll second.
Jim Marlowe,
Yeah,
Roy Gentry,
Yeah.
Jim Anderson.
Yeah,
okay. Under the ordinances, we have the ordinance to amend the establishing a system of the licensing and basically the poker and run and raffle operations for Williamson County. Andrew? Yes, sir.
If I could beg the board's indulgences and ask for your forgiveness, that resolution or that ordinance, pardon me, is not ready. And the reason it's not ready is because I haven't gotten it done. The fault lies with me. There's some unforeseen medical issues that I've had come up over the weekend and these last 2 days. I was out yesterday afternoon. I'll be out this afternoon. And just because of that, I haven't gotten to it yet. So I would ask that we can continue this for a couple of weeks if the board would be so willing to allow.
Sure. I don't
It's
think
just that change in language stuff.
Yeah, it's the change for,
But not-
the
not rough enough.
unincorporated, no, nobody's
Yeah.
waiting on a license or anything.
No.
It's nothing like that.
Just-
We're just trying to make the ordinance a little more clear for who needs to apply for a license and who
Right,
doesn't,
right.
yeah.
So we'll just table that. Okay. All right, I appreciate it, Andrew. After that, the only thing that we have, I know Terry Payne requested to meet with the board to talk to us. I told her instead of talking to each one individually, probably best just talk to the whole board. So Terry, I want to give it to you.
Thank you.
Take it.
I put together a couple of notes to try to explain what it is that I'm here to ask the board for. This is a first that we've done, or that's come up since I've been here. Here's where we're at. Public defenders lost 2 attorneys and 1 assistant since May. One of, you want me over here as well?
It'd be nice.
Okay. One of my attorneys was poached by Jackson County for a significant promotion, and the other was poached by the state's attorney's office, and that became effective today, actually. So that has left us incredibly shorthanded since May 21st of this year. Customarily, the starting salary for an assistant public defender is $40,000. When I posted the first position, I received 3 total resumes. 1 never responded. 1 started Monday. She is awesome. And honestly, the 3rd one was a fishing expedition from the state of Oregon. And with license problems, I never responded to that person. I now have to post a 2nd position at that same pay rate. We cannot do that. Now, the 2 positions that are open have a current pay rate of $46,000 per year. My other staff, David and Caleb, and myself, we're all taking turns to make sure everything is covered, has picked up all of the extra work. I know that I spoke with Brandon Sonati, and their last 2 hires came in at $48,000 per year, and at $40,000, I cannot compete. Now, with these 2 Resignations. The original amount for those two salaries was 96,000, or excuse me, 92, no, yeah, 96, 46 and 46, whatever. 92, thank you. So fix my math, oh, if you want this. My math is wrong. Okay. I have two proposals. And when I spoke with Jim very briefly, and I did speak with Ashley, and I've kicked it around, what I wanted to do was increase the starting salary for the new attorney hires to 43 per year. And I would also like to increase the salary for the two assistants who have been here for a number of years and picked up all the slack, use the remaining amount and divide it between them, not to exceed my budgeted amount for this year. I understand and have given it considerable thought that that will have certain consequences regarding the different collective bargaining units within the county. It is not an undeserved raise. The money is there. I, of course, don't want to give it if I can't carry it over into next year. But that is my preferred solution. They need some recognition for the work that they have put in, not just since we've been shorthanded, but for the entire time that they've been with the office. We're building in a structural disparity. Sometimes that can be a bitter pill to swallow, right? I've been here 5 years. I started at 40. After 5 years, I'm at X amount. Just to get a new person in the door, right? Maybe nowhere near the experience that I have. They're going to start significantly higher. So those are my two considerations. That would be my preference. I've given you two proposals. The second one is to advertise my new hires at 46 per year, which matches the amount of the exiting employees. I still do not exceed the budget, in recognition that that is a significant leap over both David and Caleb when they started with the office. If I were allowed to do that immediately, I would not be, of course, requesting, the annual increase fiscal year 22. Again, not exceeding my budget salary for the year. Guys, I'm gonna be blunt. We're drowning over there. And keeping the wheels on the bus is getting incredibly difficult. And what I need is a motivated attorney willing to step in and go to work. That I can train them how the office works. I cannot give them a law license. They have to come to me with that. And I need them in the door, and they're not coming in the door right now.
Terry, how many full-time public defenders do you have? Then how many part-time?
So under my office, there are 5 full-time, including myself,
Including you?
including me. So me plus 4.
Okay.
There are some part-time juvenile court, and they come, they're called public defenders because they are appointed by the court. That is not under my control, my budget.
Under
I
your
have
umbrella,
nothing to do with them, other than, of course, we share books and supplies and something like that. So
Okay, so they're under the judges.
they're under the judges 100%, yes.
Well, I'm gonna give you the same thing I've said for 17 years. And it's just, I haven't changed one bit. You have the state side, the state's attorney, you have the public defender side. You have 8 or 9 attorneys on the state's attorney side, you have 5 on the public defender side. That's a little bit out of balance, but there is a lot more to do the state than the public defender. However, many of the people in public defenders are guilty individuals, but they're still human beings, okay? And they deserve representation. It's sad to think that you can go through law school and to come in and take on cases in the court, and you walk in the door from law school and be offered $40,000.
And if I can add to that,
Sure.
picking up between I think the new traffic assistant who has started, who's going to be collecting those cases for 2 months, is going to be in the neighborhood of 1,700 full miles on day one. So, yeah.
I think that what you hire in at on one side should be considered to be hired in at the other side. And I don't want to make a decision, not say what we'll do. If I was leaning towards wanting to be number one, but if that's just my opinion, would be personal. But $43,000 is still, down there to get a good attorney in here, but you're spreading that out amongst the other two individuals that have been picking up the slack. It's the way I understand it. So, but you still gotta have good attorneys on both sides. I mean, sure, everybody wants to see you prosecuted, this and that, but you still have to have representation. These are human beings that deserve good representation. And if you can't get anybody in here, that's sad.
Can I make a couple comments? I may be in a position like Ms. Thien to shed some light that is firsthand experience and knowledge. The first thing that I will bring up, myself and maybe other attorneys would take exception to one of the things that the commissioner just said. The individuals over there who get assigned to public defender, they're not guilty individuals. They're innocent. The Constitution says that they are innocent until proven guilty. They have a constitutional right to have an attorney defend them. I practiced in St. Louis metropolitan area, where you have maybe 40 to 60% of the criminal defendants that came through the justice system would get a public defender. I don't know the statistic, but I would imagine that it's probably closer to 80 to 90%. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have jail call. 9 out of 10 people get assigned a public defender here. The public defender's office is definitely overworked. Speaking specifically to Mr. Smith and Mr. Cross, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they manage that many case files, but they do. And I'll tell you this, just from personal knowledge and knowing him, Mr. Cross is one of the best attorneys in the county, period. And you don't want to lose that. And if you go with, my opinion would be option one, because if you go with option two and you bring somebody in higher, it's not going to send a good message to those guys over there. And yeah, it would. I'll also say this, while I understand that the cost of living in Williamson County is probably different than St. Louis, even in the mid-40s, it's low. A lot of these people that, you go to law school, you come out, we're talking $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 in student debt. I get that there are budget constraints, but this is something that I think needs to take a priority. And that being said, it's your decision. I just wanted to give you my opinion, and I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to do that.
80, 90% that's from public defender. Isn't that pretty close?
At least. We know that we've probably done a little bit better than predicted economically in the area based on the pandemic. But bluntly, no one has lawyer money. If they get in trouble, right, and they have to come up with $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 for representation, nobody's got that kind of money. One of our issues as well is with the law school debt, and primarily most of us have come out of SIU. They went completely remote last year. We don't have folks that necessarily are going to jump back into the game to move back. If they were here, we probably could have had a larger pool. But thank you, Drew. I appreciate it. He also has seen what we do, but you all have as well.
Jerry, if I could make a comment, I think I see your two proposals, and I appreciate you coming here and sharing with us. I would like to see, my personal recommendation to the board would be, if you could hold off for just a couple months, because budgeting season is coming up. And it would be a lot easier on this board and a lot better overall if we could budget for any changes instead of making changes now and then hoping, and then maybe later on, who knows, I'm just saying hypothetically, and if they're brought to your attention that it could be adjusted later on. We don't want to see an adjustment downward, but it's a lot easier if we budget for it for next year, if you could hold on. That would be my recommendation. So,
I respect that. Here's my main concern and why I'm here now. And I recognize that within a couple of weeks, last year I got my memo and I thought I was on this budget thing. And then, I'm thinking about it already. And then August 4, it's like, oh, hey, time to start working on your budget. I get that. My issue is I'm advertising for an assistant public defender at $40,000. And in the last 3 weeks, I've had 0 response. I need to repost the position. Tom left us as of yesterday, right? So we're exactly where we were on May 21st, except we've lost a lot of the institutional knowledge. So I have no problem in any ordinary circumstances. The only reason I'm bringing this to you now and asking you to at least address on the kind of starting salary part is I gotta advertise. We need something. Traffic court just about put me down yesterday, Jim, is what happened. I'm getting a little too long in the tooth.
I believe you.
You're 2 attorneys down
I
now.
believe you.
So you need attorney.
We just replaced one.
Okay. You got one more.
So we're still in the same position we were May 21st, maybe a little bit less because we lost experience that we're replacing with someone right
How much did you replace, how much did you bring the last one in at?
Believe it or not, she took the job at 40, and I was going to ask that she be equalized as
I was
well.
gonna say, how's she gonna feel if it comes in at 43? That's what I was.
She doesn't know. I'm gonna be blunt. My staff does not know I'm here asking for this, okay? This is my plan to try to get the help that they need.
Well, you're not asking for any more money for the year, because
No, I'm not.
you're gonna come within your realm of money. And you need an attorney. I mean, wait 2 months, whatever, it's not helping you get an attorney. I mean,
And that is the only reason I'm here.
That's why you're here
I
today.
understand. In this year, I know,
You're gonna hear the same,
in this year, obviously, everything was COVID. And it was a very difficult year, and that's why the budget took so long to work out this year, because we were waiting for a lot of data to come in, as it always comes in 3 months behind. So that was the only problem. I think this year, you might see a little different story, but as everything gets back to normal. But that would be my recommendation, that it would be a lot easier in as far as for the board, maybe for your department, if you could hold off. That's just my recommendation. That's not a decision by the board yet. Okay, so but that's just me. Jim, you got anything?
You say you have 5 full-time right now,
yes, including myself.
5 full-time, and you need a 6th.
No. We are staffed 5 full-time.
Okay.
Currently, there's 4 of us.
Currently, there's 4.
Covering everything, yes.
And this 43,000, that won't take you over your budget.
No, I mean, obviously, everything's gonna be prorated to the current date. And the reason I'm a lawyer is I do not do math in public for risk of humiliation, much the same as the memo I already passed out. This will keep us exactly on our salary budget for the year. I'm not asking for anything in addition, I'm just asking to spread out. Basically, what it comes down to is an extra $12,000 that would be prorated down for the year by the time.
So assuming we did this, what would be the budget? Would it be a budget increase then for next year?
Yes, because I come every year.
Yeah, but you won't know how much, because for one thing, your contract with the assistant state's attorneys runs out November 30th, 2021. So you're going to start negotiating that at some point in time.
So we're gonna have an increase.
You're going to have an increase. Now, I'll make sure that you guys know, and we'll bring up, and based on that 48,000 that they were hired in at, or technically it says that the minimum starting pay in the state assistant state's attorney is 30, that a $3,000 a year increase is 10% per year. The CPI for those prior, those respective years was probably about 1.2 or 1.8. Even at 48,000, that's 6.25%, which is still extremely high. And if you can take someone who's making $14 an hour in several of the other locations, that's a 4% raise compared to the 6.25 that the state's attorney's office. So, I
I mean,
mean,
this is my point right here.
but here's what I'm saying. One, based off of the data, you'd only be giving them $3,000 a year. So you can afford to maybe bring them up higher to start with, because they're not gonna be getting those, you know, high increases in pay, and still end up at the same place you would be in 5 to 7 years, you know, for them.
Let's also not forget the benefits that they get.
I understand.
The vacation, the sick, you know, the health insurance, that you gotta add all that in. Our match, our IMRF, they're hidden benefits,
True.
okay?
And-
And if they go into
Appreciate
private
it.
practice, they may not be offered that.
No, but
And
they're
they
also
have
going
to
to be offered
also-
twice the starting salary.
I'm sorry,
They're also going to be offered twice the starting salary.
and it's probably based on their performance as well.
Could be.
And I don't mean that to sound bad in any respect. you know.
No, but I will put all of my kids up in a fisticuffs, across any team. I'm
I
also
get
gonna
it,
be.
I understand,
And we're getting off topic just a little bit from what I wanted to present. But one of the reasons why, until rather recently, when folks have been looking for greener pastures, is the generous bump. You start low, you put your nose to the grindstone, you work hard, you work your guts out, and it's a slow build. But when you get there, it's nice. But that is me throwing my support against the state's attorney's office and the rates that they've been able to negotiate. Not what I'm here for at the moment, but I will be here at the budget.
Well, and I wasn't disputing the fact, I mean, honestly, I think you do the plan more, but to start out with. The other thing was to consider, you realize that other than the sheriff's office, the PD's office during the pandemic were the only two that were not, were designated that they couldn't be off. All the other departments were considered to be able to alternate.
So they were considered essential?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, if you kind of get where I'm going with this.
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going. And Terry, here's the thing. For proposal number one, I'm gonna say, again, these individuals deserve the right to good representation. I have no problem raising that to 43,000 today, as long as you stay within the realm of things. I think it's a slap in the face that for $40,000 with all the debt that they come out of college for, to be an attorney. I think that you should be on the same playing field, you know, salary-wise, as you know, as a state's attorney's office. I just think if you do the same work, it's not, you know, more some of all the influx of people. And I have no problem doing with this because I see stipends, I see rank pays, I see all this kind of stuff come up throughout the year within the boundaries of their budget. And this is, to me, is nothing compared to what I've seen. So $43,000, I'm for proposal number one, and that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So, I'm,
Terry, what I'd like to say is, this can't be voted on today. It's not on.
I need more time. I want to talk to
And
him.
I would like to talk, set up a meeting with, our labor attorney as well to discuss this.
Yeah.
And, see how the overall effect.
You let me know.
I just make a more informed decision, so.
So,
I appreciate that.
and I'm not saying that I'm opposed to this, not at all. This is going to be my first year of doing the budget. And I just want to make sure that we don't create a monster. Something's going on.
I respect
And I mean, today's the first time I've
Could
seen
you
this
that
proposal. So I haven't had time to consider this. And this consideration was right to me.
that. I appreciate the time.
I'll set up a meeting with our labor attorney, we'll discuss
If
it.
you've got any questions, bring it my way. I'm more than willing to help.
And like you
You
say,
know where we're at.
we're going to be negotiating the contract this year.
Nope, public defender's office is not a collective bargaining.
It's not,
No.
what were we?
Well, that you
State's
mirror.
attorney.
That's
State's
right,
attorney.
that's right.
You guys
And I
have-
throw
So
away
they'll-
that way.
Right, they'll be receiving the same.
Well, you have the last couple of years, they didn't prior. So,
I don't just fight, guys. You do know this, right?
I'm sorry.
I don't just fight.
No, I know.
I don't know you're fighting now.
Wrong choice of words.
There you go.
I'm glad you're here.
Right.
Thank you very
You
much.
did very well, thank you.
The issue that I have right now is I have court starting right now. I have 2 attorneys over there doing jazz hands to slow the judge down.
Okay.
So if you don't have any more questions, let me know.
I'll get back with you, Terry.
You got it.
Okay.
And thank you.
I'd have
I appreciate it.
one more really quick comment on that subject, if you would be so inclined. Doing due diligence, obviously extremely important, and I would say, take your time and make sure you're comfortable with whatever decision you make. I would advise you, though, to move quickly. One, because of the backlog of cases that's happening right now, literally as we speak. But second, because a lot of students, 3Ls, just graduated law school in May, are literally taking the bar exam. It's either this week or next week. So the influx or the period of time when you could strike to potentially have the largest pool of applicants is the windows here and will probably be closing the longer we take. So
Correct.
food for
Thank
thought.
I'm out.
All right,
See ya.
thank you. All right. This time we open up to anybody else on the floor. Anybody have anything they want to say? Jeremy?
I'm very curious who you guys are going to try to utilize. I've read the proposals from the sheriff, and evidently I have the correctional officers and the security officers there. If there are any questions that you have before you call in the federal expert, I mean, I know a little bit about what this money was earmarked for, and it was clearly earmarked for frontline first responders, EMS, EMA, corrections, deputies, security, anybody who worked the front lines. And as you know very well, the jail, and I'm sure I can't speak on the deputies because I don't represent them, but I guarantee you they did yeoman's work out there too. The security officers here, they're in the face of this. We had officers get very sick, and other officers had to be mandated. I mean, literally bring their overnight sack so they could stay up here and work. So to me, I don't know why a federal guru needs to be brought in on this. It's clear as bell what this money's meant for. And I think what was in the letter shows very clear those are front responders, and they showed up every single day to do their job while this was going on. They had no choice. They had to be there. So, I mean, that's kind of my thoughts on that. If you had any questions or anything, I'm here to answer.
Appreciate your comment. Anybody else? Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to say? If not, just need a motion to close out.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Jim Marlowe.
Yay.
Brent Gentry.
Yay.
Jim Atkins.
Yes,
Thank you, everybody.
thank you for coming.
Oh. This